Hello everyone. This video is a quick lesson about question words. So whenever you want to ask a question in English, you often need to use a question word. But it is necessary to know the right one, because if not, it completely changes the sense of the information that you want to ask. So question words are basically words that are put at the start of a question to ask for some particular information. So first we will go through the most common question words, and once we're done with that, we will look into the specifics related to a few question words, because they can tend to be a bit more confusing than others. So the first one, the most common one, would be the question word what. So what is used to ask about things when the answers could be many. So like for example, what did you do last weekend, or what do you plan to do next weekend? So this question could have a variety of answers. So in such cases, you use what. The next one is which. So which is also used to ask about things, but the one difference as compared to what is that in which you use which to ask about things when the number of answers is limited. So like for example, I have two pens, which one do you prefer? So here the number of answers is limited. You can choose either the first pen or the second pen. So in such cases you use which. The next question is who. So who is used to ask information related to people. Like for example, who's that, or who is your sister talking to? So it's related to people. The fourth one is where. So where is used to ask about a certain place. So a good example would be, where are you from, or where do you live? The fifth one is when, which is used to ask about a date or a time. So an example would be, when is your birthday, or when are you leaving for London? The sixth one is why, which is used to ask for a reason. Like for example, why do you need to learn English? Or why do you like skiing? Or so on and so forth. So it is usually used to ask for a reason. Or the last question is how. So how is used to ask about a condition of an object or person, or for a method. So how is your brother doing? Or how is work going? So on and so forth. So those were the most commonly used question words. Let's get into the specifics related to a few question words, because their use can be more confusing and wider as compared to the others. So the first one we should be looking at is the questions what or which. So when you ask about things or objects, you use what or which. But the one difference that is important is that what is used when the number of answers is could be many. But which is used when the number of answers is limited. Like examples would be, what's your name, or what's your telephone number, or what's your address. So these questions could have a variety of answers. But when you answer to the question which, the possibility of answers is limited. You have to choose from specific answers. Like for example, which football team do you prefer? Or I have two pens, which one do you want? The first one or the second one? So here the number of answers is limited, because it limits you to a choice between two pens, the first one or the second one. So that was one condition that you should keep in mind for what and which. The next one would be how. So the condition with how is that it can be used with several words. The first one is how long, which is used to ask for the duration of an action or situation. For example, how long are you staying in New York? The second one would be how much, which is used to ask for the cost of a thing, but it is also used to talk about the quantity of an uncountable object. Um, the third one is how many, which is used to ask for the quantity again, but it is used to ask for the quantity of a countable thing. Like, for example, how many employees are there in your company? So the next one is how far, which is used to ask for the distance. Like, for example, how far is the city center from where you live? So it is used to talk about the distance. And the last one is how often. So how often is used to ask for the frequency of an action. So for example, how often do you work out? Or I work out 2 times a week. So it is used to talk about the frequency of an action. So that was a quick lesson on question words. I hope you found this video helpful, and do subscribe to our channel so that you do not miss out on new videos, and thank you for watching.